Welcome everybody to the Personal Health Summit 2015. Thank you so much for being here and investing your time into your health and your happiness. We have 30 experts from all over the globe speaking about health, about nutrition, about exercise, about our lifestyle, about sleep, about compassion, about excitement, about happiness, about love, about science and medicine and biotechnology, world health solutions. Amazing conversations that we've had here this summit. And we really appreciate you being here and spending the time for yourself in your own health, your own happiness. Huge thank you to our major sponsors, Ultimate Human Foundation, who are working tirelessly towards the elimination of chronic pain and disease on the planet. And a huge thank you to PH360, who's looking at the tangible application of all this amazing personal health information to put into a system that's online that you can do from the comfort of your own home, so that within about 30 minutes, you can find out exactly what's right for you to eat, exactly the exercises that are best for you, the people to hang out with, the sorts of natural talents that you have, the work that you can do, how your mind works. It's absolutely phenomenal. Check it out, onlinehealthsummit.com/PH360. So thank you again for being here. And I want to jump into a great conversation that we've got today with James Goodin. And James is a shaman that I've met a couple of years ago, and his connection is not so great today. So we're actually going to pose a few questions for James and then switch over to you, James, so that you can answer through those for us and give us a nice, clear understanding of everything that we're talking about today, which is to do with natural healing from that perspective. So James is a recognized Native American spiritual healer, known in Native circles as Arrowhawk. He was given that name in a ceremony when he was in training to become a healer and spiritual leader. His 39 years of Native ceremonies and duties as an operating room technician for over 15 years at a Veterans Hospital in Columbia, Missouri, has given him extensive knowledge in the area of healing, both native and conventional medicine. He's also an ordained minister from the Universal Life Church. Arrowhawk's taught native studies at Williams Woods College, where he's offered a fellowship teaching position in the fine arts department. His focus was on native ceremonies, healing, and culture. Students range from children to adults, and he spoke at many schools across the country, including the Montessori schools in Key West and Florida, and the University of Arizona in Phoenix, Rainstar University of Acupuncture and Massage Therapy, also located in Phoenix, Arizona. Jim was active in the powwow circles as a traditional and veteran dancer. He's also been honored to be both head man dancer and head veteran dancer in these circles. Arrowhawk also studied native healing techniques from tribal medicine men in Lakota, Cheyenne, and Cherokee nations. As in all professions, experience being the cement that binds the concrete. His experience brought him to the interrelation of feather medicine and acupuncture techniques together. Arrowhawk's a recognized water pourer for sweat lodge ceremonies. He combines a unique method of healing with ancient traditions and refers to it as Aussie Nuati, which in Cherokee means water medicine. He's an extensive experience in drug and alcohol patients. And for the past 4 years, he and his staff are running a sweat lodge program at the rehab center located in Delray Beach, Florida. He's been helping others for many, many years before he opened his 501c3 non-profit organization in the winter of 2007, and continues to maintain this as the Red Road to Wellness Center, located in Winona, Missouri. And they run after rehab programs for clients that need to continue working on themselves mentally, physically, and spiritually for up to 30 or 60 days, and extensive results that they achieve. I've personally spent a lot of time with Jim, and really appreciate, Jim, you giving your time to be here for us on this amazing health summit today to share a lot more about how our nature and ourselves as humans interact and have the capacity to kickstart the innate healing mechanisms in our own body. So thank you so much for being here, Jim. Thank you all for listening in. And I'm just going to pose a number of questions to you here, Jim, that we'll send through and you've got in front of you. The questions we're talking about is, what's the shamanic view of how illness develops? Very, very different to a lot of the way eventually. What are some of the techniques or rituals that can help guide a person to reconnect with their own inner healing power? We're also interested to hear, and these have come from a lot of questions that we've had from you listening into the audience so far, people interested to hear and understand more about a sweat lodge experience. What is it? What's the process about? How does it cleanse a person? How does it heal the body and the spirit and the mind and all these sorts of things together? And also, what are some of the tools that Mother Earth has given us to use? Things you can touch on like feathers, the sorts of birds, stones, crystals, all these sorts of things that exist, rocks that exist from Mother Earth that you use and connect with in a very healing way. and I really appreciate the way that Indigenous cultures look at and connect with the earth, and to realize the innate power of the healing and the energy that actually exists in this space for us here to interact with. Also, just some advice on how we can navigate through everyday life, being crammed in cities and suburbs, and how does the connection actually work with us and nature? Some great questions that we've got here for you, Jim. Also connecting with animals and other species, which is an interesting topic, and again something that is very foreign to us as Westerners, but we're very intrigued and interested by. And a question that is, can a person learn to be a shaman, or do you have to be born into a shaman lineage to be able to be in that space? Some other things, what are most important things we can do at our homes to create sacred space, difference between ceremonies and rituals, and their purposes, and more understanding about how we can connect with our own hearts, which is really, really important for us at this particular point in time. So Jim, I'm going to hand over to you. If you can, thank you for bearing with us and working your way through our list of questions. I know that you look at things very differently and from a very a large perspective of how you view the world, and I really look forward to you helping us navigate through some of these answers today. So over to you, Jim, and thank you so much for time and for being here.
Okay, Matt, I'm going to try to answer some of your questions that's been placed here. How do you connect using rituals and ceremonies to your inner self? Well, to connect to your inner self, ceremony is necessary. Meditation, call it whatever appeals to you. But a form of ritual or ceremony is a necessary step in finding your inner peace or your inner self. And there's many ways of doing it, smudging and sitting down, closing your eyes, regular meditation. Maybe yoga, I think, is a good way to meditate and find your inner self. And attending ceremonies is a good way to start. If you know of a ceremony or a ritual, I would attend it. That's a good way to get your beginnings. Okay. Now we're moving to the sweat lodge. A lot of questions about the sweat lodge. The sweat lodge is a round structure that we put hot stones in, and we pour water with herbs, oils, essential oils in the water, and it fills the lodge with steam that smells pleasant and is very cleansing. The water hits the stones and the steam comes up and it covers you like a sauna. Except in our ceremonies, it's like a sauna. It's a structure that's made out of saplings, covered with blankets, and we pray in there. We talk to spirit. We talk to whatever we need to talk to in there, and find your inner peace in there. I can't really say enough about it. How it's affected me over the years. It's sure done wonders for me, and many people who have attended these things with me. It's been quite an experience, and it's unique for each person when they go in the sweat lodge. Whatever your issue is, whatever your problem is, whatever is bothering you, address it in there. It's a good time to do that, and so I would always let's see, attend one if I could. Okay, next question here. Okay, let's put my glasses on here. What is it about the process that cleanses? Well, the steam, for example. Like in a sauna, the steam comes up and you start to sweat. Well, you sweat out toxins. The last fast food place you ate, I'm sure, will come out in your sweat, and no telling what else. Medications, they'll come out in your sweat, and so it's a detox of sorts. It's body, mind, and spirit, really, to put it all in a nutshell. That's what it's all about. You cleanse the body, you clear the mind, and you enhance the spirit. And the spirit is your inner beliefs, your connection to it's you're part of, it's part of you. You're part of it. It's part of the universe. It's hard to explain that. When we say spirit, you know, we can't see it, feel it, touch it, but we know it exists. So it's the best way I can put it. So when you cleanse everything, it's like, wow, you know, it's, you come out of there feeling really, really good, and you know that whatever was challenging you can be overcome. So that's why I recommend that so much. Okay. It says, what part of it heals the body? That's a, it heals the body. It's not what part of it. The whole ceremony heals the body. Whatever illness you have, the praying and asking for healing, just doing that brings in the healing energy. It's the only way I can explain it. You know, it's, there's some things that explain, you can, some things you cannot explain. So, and this is one of those things. I've had lots of people who came into the lodge with addictions and compulsions, and they also had a physical condition. Well, sure, they got their body, mind, and spirit cleansed, and in the meantime, whatever ailment they had that was a physical one was healed. It's kind of funny, and of course, their body, I mean, their mind and their addictions were brought to resolution through that, because you find out that you are a divine being, a person who's worthy of enjoying what life has to give you. So the Sweat Lodge is a good way to find that. So that's why it works so much with addictions and compulsions. Okay, next question. It says, do you address personal questions in the lodge? Well, the person that's in attending the lodge, they need to speak about what's on their mind if they choose to, or they can say it to themselves, but it needs to be brought out, so to speak. It's like when you bring it out, it opens the door for a response. But if you don't say anything, you're not going to open the door. So that's the way I look at things. Okay. Is the Sweat Lodge experience done as a group with a general focus for all in the group, or is there individual intentions and healing that occurs on each person? Yes, I can answer that with a yes. The group does benefit because it's a whole um, unit, so to speak. Everybody's in there. Everybody's going to be affected. Okay, you know, walk into a room, whatever light's casting on you is going to. If it's a blue light, everybody's going to be blue. So I mean, that's how that works. And each individual attention is addressed, of course, as I just mentioned. But if you really can't attend a sweat lodge, then a sauna. Says, how would you suggest to make a regular sauna use more effective? Okay, well, bring in sage, um, light the sage, and smudge the room. You know, turn the heat up, and sit and meditate. Think about what your issues are. Ask for healing. Ask for your answers. And just keep pouring that water. Keep sweating those toxins out, and you know you will feel better. I mean, those Sweat Lodge, I should have said in the beginning, has been around for centuries, thousands of years probably, if you date it that far, and it's in every culture. Europe had their saunas. Russia have their saunas. Native Americans have their saunas. South American. So it's a worldwide practice. And anything that any form of practice that lasts for as long as this has to have truth. And what is truth? Truth lasts forever. The lies and things like that, they're just short-lived. You find out about them, they're done. But truth is substantial. It's integrity. So anyway, that's how I feel about the sweat lodge. It is a truth. Okay, I see some more questions here. What are some of the tools? We talk about Mother Earth in the sweat lodge and in native practices. The Mother Earth is very important. We honor everything that she gives us: the air, the water, the food. We have to go get it. I mean, the air is there, but we have to get the water. We have to get the food. Okay, but it's there for us. It's provided for us, and so there's a need for giving thanks, no matter how insignificant. You may have a candy bar. Okay, well, thank the energy that gave you the candy bar. Something simple, and you will feel better about things. I mean, once you form a pattern of thankfulness and respect, health is definitely on its way. Okay, some of the tools. Okay, well, Native Americans use feathers, rocks, crystals, earth itself. And they're all used to help others. Feathers, for example, are used to conduct an energy, to hold, to conduct the energy through a feather is to ask for that energy to flow through you, through the feather, to that person. And whatever bird that feather represents is what that feather is going to do, and you just ask it to do that. And of course, smudging with feathers, to take the feather and smudge a person with it. That means to go all around them with feather in a bowl. That's necessary too for cleansing. Another question: what does it matter? Of course, it matters. Like you said, the eagle feather, turkey feather. Eagle feathers, you have to have be a native or have a license for them. But a turkey feather is really the best feather you can, because it's a legal bird, and you can smudge with it. It does the same thing, because it's you empowering the item. The item doesn't empower you; you empower the item, and then in return you get something. You get a result. It's the sacred triangle of the Cherokee. We call it the wisdom fire. You have the fire of will to start it. Then we have the fire of compassion to run it through the heart. And then we have the third fire, which is the result of the first two: manifestation. Mind, heart, manifestation. Okay, same with any item that you're using. You use your will, you use your heart, and then the energy flows. And it's what do different types of feathers have different types of energies, like stones and crystals? Yes. Woodpecker pecks the tree to get to the insects. Woodpecker feathers will break up deposits in the body, little cysts, things like that. I've seen a lot of different things happen with the use of woodpecker feathers in my time. So, and then we have the hummingbird. That would be a bird of joy, right? You see a hummingbird, you smile. Wow. So hummingbird feather would be joy. Okay, it says what type of energies, like stones and crystals. Okay, well, different colored crystals mean different things. Yellow topaz we call that the manifestation, the yellow, and it has medicinal properties. Let's see, the amethyst is a purple crystal, and that's usually for transformation. And also, they say you carry an amethyst crystal, lightning will avoid you. Okay, so that might be something to think about. This is how do we recognize the energy of a stone? I guess you would feel it. You would feel it through your body, through your senses. In your hand, it may get warm in your hand. If it's placed on your body, you may feel a little vibration. It's a sensual thing, you know, our senses feel it, and a knowing as well. Once you understand that, you know, this is what you want. Because our intent is so important in what we do. You know, our will is one of the strongest things that we have, and not many of us use that will. I mean, it's a sad thing that we are powerful beings. Just use them in a good way, you know, to help one another, not to kill each other, but to help one another. You know, our will is so strong. You know, we look at the wars that we have. Look at the people, the mothers, sons that are dying in battle because of a will. Okay, so we need to change the will. We have to be more direct and more compassionate. Okay. Do we have to know what stone does, what the stone does to connect with it? Well, if you're told what it does, of course. You know, if you don't know what it's for, I guess it's kind of, it wouldn't be a good thing. So definitely know what the stone is before you use it. That's for sure. And how do we cleanse a stone or crystal? Well, there are various methods of cleaning them. Put them in the moonlight, put them in sea salt, Baltic sea salt. There's all sorts of different cleansers out there, so to speak. Moonlight all night. That seems to be the easiest and the cheapest. So, and energizing is the same way. When you cleanse them, you bring them in, energize them with your will. And here we go again. Here's your will. One more time. Your will is what your focus. You focus your will on the object. Very, very, very powerful. Very powerful. It says that so many of us living in cities and cramped suburbs. Is there some advice you could give us in order to reconnect with our own spirit and that of Mother Earth? Well, yeah, I guess yes. You could set up your own circle anywhere. For that matter, it can be in a room in your house. It could be on top of the roof, in your yard. In that circle, you would bless and ask it to give you what medicine you need. You know, in all of our ways, in all of the shamanic ways we ask for things. If we don't vocalize what we want, then how do we get it? If you go to the store, you just don't go to the door and everything that you need is already thrown in a shopping cart. We have to go to each item and pick it up and put it in the shopping cart. Well, kind of the same thing. It says, how does the connection with nature actually work? The trees, the earth, how do we connect with them? Go hug a tree. That's what I would say. Wrap your arms around a tree and just go, oh, yeah, what can I feel from you? And what kind of love can I give you? You know, it's an exchange. Everything is an exchange. You pay money for items. It's an exchange. You barter. You trade one thing for another. It's an exchange. So energy is the same way. When you're using energy, it's an exchange. And connecting with them is, like I said, go give them a hug. And look at nature. Each leaf is unique. Each leaf has a purpose on a tree. Each insect has a purpose. You know, just pay attention to what's around you and clear your mind and just watch. And you'll start to fall into place with nature. You'll start to understand that nature is here for you and you're here for nature. It's a two-way street. Okay, any tips on how we can connect with other animals and other species? Be friendly. That's what I would recommend. Be friendly with you know, you love your puppies, you love your pets. I mean, and when you're walking, you know, look at the bird singing in the tree. Wow, what a pretty song. Just little things like that, you know, it'll come to you. If you want something, it'll come to you. It's your will. Okay. Can a person learn to be a shaman, or do you have to be born in a shaman lineage? Well, I think a person can be whoever they choose to be. If your wills and your intent is to help humanity, by golly, I would do it. You know, because that's your will, and you will do it. I mean, uh, learning is absorbing what's around you and directing it from you to whatever you're helping. Uh, and so any person, I think, can be a medicine person. The shaman is a word that's used a lot, and I don't really care for it. A medicine person, you know, like a doctor or something like that. That's how I like to be referred to, as a medicine person, not a shaman. It's too much confusion with that. And to be born in shaman lineage, yes, it's a great idea. It's a great thing. I checked my heritage, and I go way back to the fire chief of Echota, and you know, in the Cherokee way, and I was so shocked to find that out, and so I guess I was fortunate to be in that lineage. It's kind of a natural thing for me to do, is want to help people. I've done it most of my life. Okay, if it is something to be learned, how long would that process take? Well, how much time do you want to give it? It's like playing an instrument. You just don't pick it up and start playing it. You have to practice with it. Uh, and how long it takes is up to you. The more you absorb, the more that you practice, the more faster you'll become adept at doing it. It says, what is the most important things we can do at our homes to create sacred space? Yeah, I talked about creating sacred space just a minute ago. You know, you make a circle. You can set rocks in 4 directions. You can set it up any way you choose. There's many avenues to set up sacred space. Smudging, using a copal, which is a copal from Mexico. It's like creates an ocean of sacred space, they call it. So, is there a difference between ceremonies and rituals? And if so, what is their purpose? Well, a ceremony and a ritual are pretty close. It's just different types of ceremonies. You have your ceremonies from all your different religions. Each religion has its own ceremony. In the native ways, each tribe or each nation has their own ceremonies, because that's the way they did it. That's the way they were taught. And here we go back to who taught them. Well, you know, it's like, who taught the very first ceremony? Can you answer that one? Okay. Who taught the first ceremony? It was done between you and your connection with the all that is. You felt, okay, I need to burn this and offer this smoke in a respectful way to whatever is your intent. That's how ceremonies started. And so we can't say, well, you're doing it the wrong way or you're doing it the right way. It's whatever you feel. It's you. If it feels good, then you know that it's a good thing. I hate to use the word bastardized. If you try to copy and do it a way that you've seen it done, and say this is the right way, then you know that's not right. If you see it and you say, oh, I like the way they did it, okay, then that changes it a little bit, and then of course you want to honor the way that you're shown. You know, just don't copy it. Ask them, well, how do you do this? And then someone will show you how to do it. It's just a matter of asking. But just know that if you do it in a good way, in a good intent, in a good respectful manner, it is a ceremony, it is a ritual. So, okay. Sometimes we have a hard time connecting to our own hearts. Oh yeah. Because we live in doubt a lot in this life. Doubt is something that will isolate you. from the truth, because you doubt what it is. Am I really seeing that? Am I really experiencing this? That's a misconnection, and so we have to remove doubt. And to remove doubt, it takes a little bit of faith. Faith in, well, is this really the way to do it, or is this really the way to do that? You have to kind of go with it, and pretty soon doubt fades away. The stronger your truth is, the less doubt becomes. So when you get rid of your doubt, you've connected to your heart. Your heart, your inner heart, your conscience, I suppose you would call it. We refer to it these days as heart. In the old days, they referred to it as conscience. I think it's the same thing. Your conscience is your heart. So you don't want to do anything to harm someone, anything like that. You want to help someone.
Wow, Jim, absolutely phenomenal. Thank you so much for just opening your heart and sharing with us, really from your perspective, how you see the world, how we are just so intertwined with nature. We're one and the same. There's so much understanding between how we can relate to certain things in nature, how you look at things with different eyes, how all the things in nature are here for us, almost like signposts or tools for us to use on our journey. And we often don't take the time to stop and think about things like that. So I really appreciate you sharing everything you have today with us and answering all our questions, and really helping walk through an understanding of how you approach life and see these sorts of things. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your time. If anyone's interested or feels the need or feels called to be experiencing a sweat lodge, I can highly recommend it. Please go and check out Red Road to Wellness organisation. It's a non-profit. They're here just to support you. It's www.rrtwellness.org. That's rrtwellness.org. Red Road to Wellness. For sweat lodge or for healing, if you're in a space for physical healing, for spiritual, emotional healing, please check them out. I highly encourage everybody listening here to check that out. Or if you want to learn more about if you want to learn more about Kennedy's team there, please go and spend some time there. It'll be one of the best things you've ever done in your life. So can highly recommend it. I've had the pleasure to spend lots of time with Jim, and I'm really excited to be able to share a lot more of the work that you do, Jim, with everybody that I can, because you're just here literally to help as many people as you possibly can, and that's why we're here for the summit. So again, really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for being here, Jim, and thank you all for investing the time into your own health and happiness. I hope you found the conversation interesting today. Please go ahead and like the Facebook page to find out more about the speakers and goodies and schedules. And please subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you can get the free video replays for every speaker that we've had on this summit. It really is such an amazing time to be learning this information, applying this information, so that you can find out exactly who you are, why you're here, and what you can do to be happy and healthy. Thanks again. Please share with your family and friends. Talk to you soon.